No, I did right now. So this is wrist
Flexion.
flexion.
Wrist flexion.
Okay. So wrist flexion. What are the muscles we're looking at?
Wrist flexion, flexor muscles, all of them.
Carpi, radialis, carpi ulnaris.
Okay. Flexor carpi radialis.
Flexor carpi radialis.
Flexor carpi ulnaris. Okay.
What is, okay.
We'll talk about them at the end. So this is going to be wrist flexion. Now, all of the wrist flexors, you know, are on the volar aspect of the forearm, right? And they insert where?
Medial epicondyle.
Medial epicondyle, okay? So they're all coming from here. So even though I am stabilizing and just resting my fingers on his forearm, I'm not pressing, okay? So you want to make sure, don't get all nervous and start pressing because then you're going to impact the muscle. So this is the motion I'd like you to do. Okay, can you do that? Good. And now I'm going to apply resistance. I'm only going to take 2 fingers. I'm going to put them in the middle of his palm, okay? Because remember, these muscles are thinner and weaker, right? They're not as strong as some of the big muscles we've been cranking on. So do that again. And 1, 2. Right in the middle. Don't come up to the fingers. Don't cross the MP joint. That's right. Because then you're going to get hyperextension of the fingers and not resist the flexion. Okay?
There's only one battery left.
Metacarpal joints, so metacarpals, carpals and metacarpals, right? With the resistance.
Right in the middle of the palm is where the resistance. So again, this is the motion I'd like you to do. Okay, you do it by yourself. Good. Now I'm going to apply resistance. Go ahead. Don't let me push you. 1, 2. Excellent. Half range would be. Good. And a flicker. Okay. If he flickers, how do you think we're going to put the hand for gravity eliminated?
Can you do this one person?
Okay, in neutral. Okay. Now, when you range him, make sure also when you do the passive range of motion that you're in, don't do it by the fingers. A lot of students will take the fingers and just pull him into flexion. Don't do that. Take him in the middle of his palm. That's what I'd like you to do. Okay, can you do that? Now at this point, the table is really what is supporting him. You do not have to still hold him while he's going into flexion, okay? So I'm still stabilizing on the forearm. The table is supporting him. Typically in a clinic, if you were going to do something like this, you would powder the table so that there wouldn't be any sweat resistance, okay? Or you use a towel. Okay, can you do that yourself? Great. Okay, now I'm going to apply a little resistance. Go ahead. Same thing, 2 fingers, 1, 2. Okay, not so hard. Now, when we look for the muscles, now this is where your fingers really need to get sensitive, okay? The first thing we're going to look for in wrist flexion is the palmaris longus tendon, okay? Now this tendon is the one that we all have, is really big. You see right there? Okay. Now, some people have it, some people don't. So flex your wrist and see if you have it. Do you have it? You have it. Good. Okay. When you find the palmaris longus, then you want to look for flexor carpi radialis, which is just radial to palmaris longus. Okay. So go ahead and flex. Good. For you, I can see it right there. Okay. You are palpating the tendons because you can't palpate these muscles. So now we're starting to palpate tendons. Okay. And relax.
Flexor radialis longus.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, the flexor radialis longus muscle. We are palpating now.
Flexor carpi radialis, yes, which is just radial to palmaris longus. Okay, so on him I can see. Some people you can't see. You make them flex. And there it is. Okay, now for flexor carpi ulnaris, okay, go ahead and flex right there. You see that? Right there. Okay, some people it sticks out, some people it doesn't. Okay, but you see how he's kind of going into a little bit of ulnar deviation? That makes it pop out more. So you can see it, okay? So you know you're going to have to palpate those 2 muscles.